Hello everyone, coming to you from Janesville, Wisconsin in the southern part of the state. We're looking at a 2007 CJ3. Airplane's got about 6,000 hours on it total time. Current owner bought it in 2022 at the top of COVID. It's now surplus to his needs. They got another airplane. Airplane is on a 135 certificate and had the interior done in 2022. The Dock 22, the next big inspection, is coming up in about a year's time. Gonna a little bit granular here if I can, although it's not coming up on the camera. The paint on it's original. It's been touched up a couple times, and I'll show some pictures of that here as we go forward. It's lost a little bit of luster. You can kind of see it around the emergency exit over there. It's not bad. It needs a good touch-up. Leading edges are good. I've just checked the rivets. None of them seem to be working. There's some, as I said, some touch-ups here and there that were done poorly, and we can easily address those. It's really hard to see in the video, but this line of rivets here is one of the areas that you look at on the aircraft, and you see if there's any black marks coming back. That's an indicator that the rivet is actually moving around inside the its location, and it's not the case with this airplane. Here's a couple of indications of the poor touch-up I was referring to. You can see where it's not as shiny right there, and you can see here on the where they actually just touched it up by hand, which is workable but not nice. And then back here you can see this area right here. It's actually touched up by hand as well. You know, it's not, just needs to be looked at some stage, but generally the airplane looks fine. A good touch-up would take care of all that. This baggage area is very clean. The surrounds are good. Everything's pretty tidy in here. This aircraft does not have much of a ski tube section. It does have a smaller one up there, a little bit smaller than the one yesterday. Just the difference in the serial numbers, they put a little bit of equipment right there. This one being 183 and the other one being an earlier serial number. This area right here is the left aileron, and it's probably the worst touch-up that I've seen. We probably want to look a little closer at it because this area does corrode occasionally, but the airplane's not lived in a corrosive environment, so I don't know if you can see that, but it doesn't look great, so that needs to be addressed. Here we are on the flight deck. We were able to get power on this airplane, so you can see all the lights going off. Everything seems to work. I've kind of run through it. It seems to be going all right. Long range nav is working like it should. The interior of this airplane, including the pilot seats, but not including the wood, was done by Yingling in 2022. Here's a look from the front door. Aircraft is similar somewhat to the airplanes that we've looked at, with a forward club and then an aft forward-facing seat. I'll turn the camera around here in a second. There actually is a side-facing seat just opposite the door that's quite nice. So this lavatory is also belted. Not all of them are. This one also has the shoulder harness. I don't remember that one yesterday having one. This has all been recently done. It actually looks quite nice. Here's a look from the lavatory going forward. Similar to yesterday's airplane, you've got a forward club and then two forward-facing seats. And I don't know if one can see it. I'll come up there in a minute, but just behind that right-hand seat is another sideways-facing seat. This aircraft also has the blue water repair underneath the lavatory, and when they did the repair, they actually went a little farther and looked beyond the actual repair for below, and it came out clean. So it's good in that respect, but something that we would look at on the pre-buy to make sure it's all done properly. As mentioned on this airplane, these all of these shades seem to work quite nicely. The tables are okay, but a little bit of, it's kind of hard to get it, a little bit of discoloration right there. That's something that Cessna had an issue with. Bombardier did as well. When between coats it gets a little bit of moisture and it just turns cloudy, and it's a known issue with a lot of the airplanes. You can see it's a little bit discolored there as well. Generally though, the wood up front, though it's got a few repairs here and there, it doesn't look too bad. Here's that side facing seat. It's right inside and opposite the front door to the aircraft. So you walk up. Generally in charter, that's where you put a basket of snacks, but if you do have 7 or 8 passengers, the 7th passenger prefers to sit there, and then the 8th passenger generally goes into the lavatory. This airplane has what's called slimline cabinets. There's 2 of them right behind the flight deck, and in there is your hot, it's called a MAPCO. You notice how the wood on this one's a lot better than the one from the other day. They changed it slightly in this year model. Everything else is very tidy. The rollers, everything seems to work just like it should.